Hi everyone, we've got another viewer's clip today where my viewer nearly makes a mistake that causes a crash. Luckily enough, he gets away with it at the very last minute. Let's have a little look at this one. What I'd like to say first is well done to our camera for actually moving back to the left. Here there's going to be a bigger space between himself and the bus than himself and the white Honda, so this is a good move. However, when you are in this situation you must anticipate buses. So what I'd like people to do here is look inside the bus at the top deck. The stopping light has just come on, and now our camera proceeds forward and goes next to the white Honda. He's given himself more of a problem now. He also takes a little while to brake enough and get the Honda in front of him. I've paused the clip at this point to actually show people a few things. Our camera is already on his way out. And don't forget how a dash cam distorts the image. This situation here is a lot more closed in than it actually looks. It's also easy with me stopping the clip to see the intentions of the pedestrian to the right hand side. Look at their feet and even hand positions and think of where they're going to go. Again, I know it's obvious because we've seen the clip once and now we're freeze framing it, but these are the kind of things you need to pick up on when it's live. Our camera was probably spending too much time looking for his gap to get out. I think he was staring in his mirror for far too long. Watch the pedestrian take a further step, and what I will add, the Honda's brake lights have not changed. Our camera simply wasn't looking ahead enough. However, he was able to stop in time, so you could say his observations were sufficient. But how could they have been good or even outstanding? So what can you do to stop this situation from happening? What observations can you be doing to try not to get yourself into the same situation as we've just seen? Well, first of all, we're going to have a quick look at where bus stops are positioned, and we don't need the answer on the left. Well, in the UK, yes, we know they're on the left. However, I just want to do a little bit of work just for a moment on trying to think about where the placement for bus stops are. Now, we've got one up here on the left hand side, and if you think they're going to be quite near junctions, come on Volkswagen. So yeah, they're going to be quite near junctions. This one on the left hand side is here, so all the people who live in this estate and a row of houses and the group of houses to the left can find a bus stop easily, and so can the people who live down there. So you can often anticipate where bus stops are going to be placed. I did just also mention in the video about the stopping light inside buses. Did you know about that? Is that something that you look for when you are following a bus? If not, it should be. Quite simply, these lights could be on the top deck like we saw in the video, or sometimes you can actually see through the back window, and they're often tucked around the driver. So when people want to get off the bus, they press the button and this alerts the driver that he needs to be stopping at the next stop, and also it also lets other passengers know that the bus is stopping at that next stop. So keep anticipating is always the key. Now, if you do have a scenario where you could be stuck behind a bus, again, you should have that ability to be able to get yourself out. I know we are unfortunately blessed with the so-called space closers, who once you go back into the left, they'll never let you out again. However, we're doing our best to try and stop that and try and make people aware of it. But you should have that confidence to go back in the left and then have an ability to get out. And hopefully a bit further up, we're going to show you how to do this. It's the same sort of scenario as we've got with this private hire vehicle to the right. It's not really two lanes here, okay? There are not two designated lanes. However, if you do budge across to the left as I've done, there is enough room for two lots of cars to fit through the lights. So for me, this is good. But we both can't fit into that space up ahead. So what we've got to do, we've got to adjust our speed. I've gone on about adjusting speed for ages on this channel, and it's really important. That's the key to doing things properly. Just out of interest, that bus in front has got a stop and light on. You can see all the people inside the bus stood up waiting to get off, and now we've got an ambulance coming the other way as well. So this is perfect. I couldn't have asked for anything better. The lights aren't going to be long. The filter lane comes from this way just for a little moment. So I'm going to get ready into gear in case I need to move quickly for this guy. But with the ambulance, that's probably not going to happen. So I'm just going to sit still and let him do what he wants. Now we're going to have a little look at what's what. Yeah, private hire is holding back, so that's fine. He was turning right. Perfect. So as you can see, anticipation is key. Now, I've got a little bit of pressure on me, not really, but pressure with these two motorcycles. So on purpose, I'm going to sit behind the bus and see whether we can pick up on the clues. But if I do want to lane change, I'm going to try and go into what I do with these guys behind as well. So I know all the time who's next to me and how close people are. So if the bus does park, I know at the moment it's clear. Bus stop is coming up down Walton Vale, and there's another one just beyond the actual pedestrian crossing area. And if we look inside the bus, the stopping light's on. So already I'm doing my positioning now. I know this bus is going to park at the next bus stop. So I've stopped myself even getting into that situation of having to get out at the last minute. So anticipation is always going to be the key for you to drive safely. There we go. Bus didn't catch me out parking in. Do they catch you out? So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to try and get myself into a situation where I have to lane change and give everyone an idea of what I'm looking for and how I'm dealing with my mirror checks as we do the lane change. So again, preemptive mirror checks are really important, so I know who's around me constantly even before we get to the situation. Again, is the bus going to park in? Let's have a little look now. There's no light on, so I am actually going to go to the left hand side. Hopefully it will park in, therefore we can have an idea of what we need to do lane changing. So I'm preempting it, no one's to my right, so already I know if this bus signals left and parks in at this bus stop, I was ready for it. But we'll have to deal with this a little bit further up. I'm going to keep tailing this bus until I find a bus stop where it is going to park, and I'll give everyone an idea of what's what. But I'll try and talk about it now a little bit. The mirror checks, what people do is that they stare for too long. They look at one place for far too long, and that's quite often because they haven't sussed out coming up to a situation what's there already. They have to work it out. So anticipation is far better than reacting. So I know no one's next to me, but if I'm using my mirrors and these buses park, I'm going to look mirror in front, 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 mirror in front. So I'm constantly assessing. So that little space that I had there was needing me to slow down. If I was just staring in that right mirror all the time, I'm not going to see and be able to assess that situation in front of me. So relating that to our clip, our camera didn't anticipate very well, even though he did say in his email that he'd driven buses from a few months after passing his test, so he'd driven buses for a couple of years. I'm surprised that he didn't anticipate better. He did say to me in the email that he saw the stopping light come on. Well, he may have seen it, but I think he saw it too late and it didn't give him enough time to react. But then I'm suspecting that he was just staring in that mirror. And like I said, it comes from honestly a lack of anticipation and knowing who's around all the time. If you know who's around all the time, you're always one step ahead. And that's the lasting bit that I'd like to try and put across from this video, that you have to ensure you're a step ahead all the time. We need to be proactive rather than reactive. I hope that's been useful. Please, if you can, keep sending these clips in, because as always, there's loads in that clip that we've never dealt before. The roads are so varied and so many things can change to give different scenarios. Please, please, please keep sending these clips in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Even there, positioning my car and changing my speed to be at a space next to me. That space next to you, that side, is vital. You always need an escape route.